war can scare them. The Thousand Hills are thrilled of excitement. 12 teams.
Where stories come alive from the heart of Africa, it's the BAL playoffs and finals. Join us in Kigali, Rwanda from May 24th to June 1st at the BK Arena. The biggest show in African basketball is here. 8 teams battling for the championship. Grab your tickets now at ticket.rw. Be part of history, all for the final.
Thank you. Now we have to start properly. Murakaza Neza, welcome, bienvenue. Good afternoon to everyone and welcome to the 2024 BL Playoffs and Finals Executive Media Availability. My name is Edwin Esalem, PR and Communications Lead for the Basketball Africa League, and I'll be your moderator this afternoon. I would like to especially acknowledge the Permanent Secretary at the Rwanda Ministry of Sports, Zephany Nyonhuru, and representative of the Minister of Sports, Oro Mimoza Munyangaju, NBA Africa CEO Claire Akamanzi, Basketball Africa League President Amadou Gallo-Fall, FIBA Africa President Anibal Manav, BAL Vice President, Head of Strategy and Operations John Manuel Planche, leadership and staff of the BAL, NBA Africa, FIBA, RDB, my dear colleagues, members of the media. For today's press conference, we'll have remarks from the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Sports, BAL President Amadou Gallo.
CEO and BAL Africa, State Chief Partnership Officer, Rwanda Development Board, the leadership of our federation, BAL, FIBA, NBA, and federation leaders present, presence of clubs, ladies and gentlemen, media fraternity, good afternoon. We are excited and thrilled to welcome you all to Rwanda for this 4th edition of the Basketball Africa League. We are proud to be in this partnership with the BAL and this prestigious league. And of course, we started during tough times where COVID did not allow us to fully celebrate. But again, with quick responsiveness from the government of Rwanda, we've been able to work closely with BAL, and we put in place measures which made it possible for the competition to happen. Hence, African getting an opportunity to celebrate the talents of their children and also making sure that these talents are showcased to the rest of the world. The league has been growing and becoming super competitive, and the monetary benefits that us as Rwanda we've been getting from this league has been increasing at an increasing rate. From negative growth rates in our tourism sector, especially during the period of COVID, we've seen competitive recovery. And if you look into the numbers that we registered last year in tourism, we were able to record $620 million for the whole activities in tourism, and 94 million of this amount came from MICE, from events, and from these events, sport alone recorded 15%. So this is a result of partnerships like this one that we've been having with partners from different parts of the world, not only to promote sports in our country, but also to make sure that sports also become one of the contributors and drivers of our economic growth. Partnerships like this one, and also the one we have with Paris Saint-Germain, FC Bayern Munich, Ironman, Africa Football League, have been heavily contributing on our sport development. We've been able to establish some academies. We've been able to work with BAL to conduct some critical clinics, which have been helping us in terms of building capacities of the leaders in sports, and also giving a chance and also nurturing talents. We are looking forward to a week full of excitement, full of excellent performance, full of celebrations, including social programs, sport development programs, innovation, among others. From the side of the government of Rwanda, we shall keep making sure that required infrastructure are availed to make sure that such activities continue to happen. I also take an opportunity to ask you and welcome you and encourage you to also take part in other upcoming sport activities that we have. Immediately after this BA, we'll be having the Kigali International Peace Marathon, which will be happening on June 9th. You know, for those who can make it, stay behind. We'll be having full marathon, half marathon, and run for peace, which will be on a distance of 10 kilometers. We also encourage you to, again, take part in other upcoming events that we have in our country, including a World Cup of Veterans that we'll be having in September. This is in football. We'll be also hosting the Congress of the Fédération Internationale d'Automobile. And also next year, other key events that we have include the World Road Championships in cycling. It's going to be the first time that Africa will be hosting these World Championships. And we expect not only to boost the economy through that championships, but also to build and keep strengthening our cycling sports. And as I end my remarks, I hope that as you stay here, especially during off days, take time to move around, take time to explore Kigali, and also take time to visit other parts of the country. Whenever we have events like this, our tourism board works on some special discounts on our tourism products, and we expect guests not only to enjoy sport, but also to get an opportunity to enjoy what our country has to offer. Thank you very much, and I wish you a productive afternoon.
Thank you, Zephanie, Permanent Secretary at the Rwanda Ministry of Sports. Permit me now introduce Basketball Africa League President Amadou Gallo-Fall for his remarks. Good afternoon, Amadou.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Edwin. Thank you, Zephanie, for those remarks and continued partnership. Welcome, everyone. It's great to be back in Kigali for the 4th consecutive year for our Basketball Africa League finals and playoffs. We want to thank you, members of the media, for your continued support. This season, we've had 500 media credentials across our Season 4 conferences in Pretoria, in Cairo, and in Dakar, and here in Kigali. Super excited, but allow me to first thank our partners who, without them, we couldn't have achieved what we've achieved with the league in such a short period of time. Obviously, our foundational partners, the Rwanda Development Board and Visit Rwanda, Nike, Brand Jordan, and Wilson, and to our world-class rosters of marketing partners. We are super excited to welcome the Bank of Kigali for this year's playoffs and finals, and hopefully, for a long time to come. We also want to thank Castle Light, Hennessy, Rwanda, Afrexim Bank for their continued support. We've had an incredible journey during our season 4. The feedback we've gotten from across the board, from fans and players and teams and people who are across Africa watching the games and people who watch the game all around the world have been incredible. The competition on the court, have been really remarkable. We see the basketball level continuing to rise. We are attracting top talent from around the world. We are getting top talent from Africa to participate across the different teams. So this is really, it's been a proud moment for us, especially with this expanded season, where we went to South Africa, where we took the BAL game for the first time, when launching our Kalahari conference. That was a full season, full circle moment, because South Africa is a place where many of our activities have started. Still the headquarters of NBA Africa, Park Arena at the Sunbet, arena in Pretoria, Park Arenas in Dakar, where we finished off, but between Pretoria and Cairo, there were 9 conference. We had 40,000 fans come to watch our world-class product up close and personal. We had 41,000 fans during our Sahara conference in Dakar, punctuated by last Sunday, the final game between APR and AS Douane. We had both His Excellency President Kagame, who's been a champion of what we're doing here in our efforts from the beginning, with the newly elected President of Senegal, His Excellency Bassirou Diomaye Faye. The support of these leaders, I think, speaks volume as we're looking through this league to build an economic growth engine for the continent that is going to provide jobs, that is going to continue to spur the development of world-class infrastructure. And glad to hear Zafani here talk about the impact that these events, like the Basketball Africa League's season, moving across the continent, how they impact economies, how they boost tourism. And this is really at the heart of why this league has been created. Just to remind everyone that we have the top 8 teams from the 12 teams that started the season 4 in Pretoria with the first group at the Kalahari conference. 2 teams qualified automatically from each conference, and we took the 2 best third-place finishers across the 3 conferences. From the Kalahari conference, we had FUS de Rabat and Petro Atletico de Rwanda. Petro is a team that has participated in every season of the Basketball Africa League to date. And from Cairo, in the Nile Conference, Al Ahly from Egypt, which is our reigning champion of the Basketball Africa League, qualified along with Al Ahly from Libya. From the Sahara Conference in Senegal, Rivers Hoopers from Nigeria, this is their second time participating, finished ahead of the conference, the Sahara Conference, to qualify to these finals, and AS Douane, which was AS Douane from Senegal, which was last year's runner-up. And then the 2 top third-place finishers are the Cape Town Tigers from South Africa and US Monastir from Tunisia. US Monastir, that was the winner of the 2022 Season 2 Basketball Africa League season, and also US Monastir has participated in every season along with Petro Atletico de Rwanda. We had 5 new teams participate and 3 new countries in the league this year. We continue to expand the footprint. Just reminding to fans to buy their tickets at bal.nba.com and also at ticket.rw. For those fans who won't be able to make it to the arena, because we have the trends are looking very good in terms of just people getting ready, getting their tickets. We expect full arenas, but we will communicate around those in the coming hours. But we encourage fans to really get to those platforms to purchase their tickets. But for those who cannot make it to the arena, our games will continue to be available in 214 countries around the world, and we would particularly on the BAL's YouTube channel, just to name some of the platforms where you can watch these games, also through a host of free-to-air and across pay TV and many of the digital platforms that are our partners in broadcasting this league. We have a very exciting also slew of events across for social impact. We will host this year for the first time our BAL for her under 23 women's camp over the course of 5 days. There are 20 women players who've been selected from across countries, across Africa, and they will be here participating in the events. And this is our opportunity to continue to engage and make the game and the industry accessible for women too. So there will be also a BAL for her careers in sports workshop. We will hold the Umuganda on Africa Day to also continue to stay close to the community. Our BAL Elevate Showcase, the NBA Academy team is here. I had a chance to watch a game yesterday against Espoir at Lycée de Kigali. We have the showcase for the third time, I believe, on May 31st. So just, again, to continue to showcase the connection between how we tie the work at the NBA Academy with the BAL teams. Some of the names that we've seen some incredible performances in Cairo from the likes of, for example, Haman Malouach, and I think this year a number of alumni from the Academy will be, showcased or have declared in the NBA draft. Just looking forward to continuing to engage with you, the media. Appreciate your support and looking forward to seeing you all in the arena for the games. Exciting competition. We're looking forward to finishing this very, very strong. The way we left it in Dakar in the last game and how we started also in Pretoria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amadou. We'll now turn it over to NBA Africa CEO, Claire Akamanzi. Good afternoon, Claire.
Good afternoon, Edwin. Thank you, and thank you, Amadou, as well, PS, Ministry of Sports, and all our partners, Visit Rwanda, FIBA, among others. Working? Okay, it's working now. Good afternoon, everybody, again. I must say it's very happy to be back home. I see many familiar faces in the room. Really, really good to see all of you here today. And very good to be here for BAL finals and playoffs. I know that for the last 3 years, every time BAL was coming to Rwanda, we would all be very excited to have another week of BAL. And I have no doubt that it's the same this week. You're all very excited to see us, right? But even though it's my first time to be here as part of the NBA family, it's not my first time to interact with BAL. I think I've been part of all the last 3 episodes. But to see the growth of season form, I think is very, 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 very much heartwarming. It's really grown over the last seasons. As Amadou explained, we've had new teams, we've had new countries participating in the BAL. But also that same story of growth is something that we continue to see across NBA's work on the continent as well. Maybe for some of you who haven't followed, the most recent office and expansion we've had since the last BAL season is an office in Kenya, where we now have our 5th country where NBA Africa is established. I think just like the BAL seasons are growing with more countries, more participation, the footprint of NBA is also growing across the African continent. And that story of growth is something that we're very, thank you. That story of growth is something that we are very much encouraged by, and we know that there's just so much room to grow going forward. In addition to that, we have to also point out that there's more and more growth in terms of access to merchandise on the continent. Today, NBA Africa has 3 stores still in South Africa, but we're also looking at expanding on the continent. But still, on the continent today, you can buy NBA merchandise in NBA stores on the continent, and I think that's also another story of growth that we're very proud to see growing together with all the other elements, including the BAL seasons, as Amadou shared with you today. But something that I also want to emphasize is we're also looking more and more to interact with other sectors and other industries that are very valuable on the continent, especially technology. As you know, the African continent continues to produce very innovative ideas, very innovative entrepreneurs, and most recently, to interact with that, we launched our own accelerator as NBA Africa, called the Triple Double Accelerator. We're currently receiving applications, and all you have to do is go to tripledoubleaccelerator.nba.com. We have hundreds of applications already, but we still continue to receive until end of this month, 31st of May. And we want to support young entrepreneurs on the continent that have solutions that will support the sports ecosystem, whether it's marketing, digital marketing, event management, or ticketing, artificial intelligence, or any other experience that will support the sports ecosystem and the creative sector. We're looking for those startups to really be part of the Triple Double Accelerator. And some, as just to emphasize that we are happy to be part of Rwanda, the growth that Zephanie talked about, the growth that Amadou talked about, the growth that we're seeing across the continent on the work of NBA Africa is something that we're very, very much encouraged by, and so we're looking forward to that future. But we are here for BAL, we're here for the finals and playoffs. I know that Kigali always receives us very well and delivers a very successful finals. We're looking forward to experiencing that the same here in Becker Arena and also with the rest of the country, as we are very excited to host the finals here. So with that, let me just encourage everybody and welcome everybody. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we tip off and for the rest of the week. And very happy to be in Kigali once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Claire. Now we'll turn it over to our partners of FIBA, and we'll now listen to FIBA Africa President Hannibal Manav. Good afternoon, President Manav.
Yeah, good afternoon, and thank you, Edwin. Dear Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Sports, dear CEO of NBA Africa, dear President of Basketball Africa League, dear members and colleagues of NBA, FIBA, and BAL, dear members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon once again. It is, for me, I'm home also. I'm here, I'm home, I feel home here. It's always a pleasure to be here in Kigali, especially for this fourth edition of Basketball Africa League, final and playoff. I would like first to express my sincere gratitude to the Rwanda government and to FERWAB to once again to open the doors for basketball and to have this wonderful event here. Since COVID, that Kigali is the capital of Africa basketball, and once again, thank you for this opportunity. I would like also to take this opportunity to congratulate Rwanda. The Permanent Secretary mentioned a lot of events that are going to happen in the couple of months, but you forgot one. The World Cup here, in the Women World Cup. The Women World Cup here in Kigali. It's the first time that we are going to host this big event. Is a qualification for the World Cup. All world are excited and happy. All teams want to come here. Nobody wants to go to Mexico. So congratulate But this is normal, and is the result of what you are doing for the basketball. I would like also to thank all the sponsors, especially Visit Rwanda, that they are supporting this project, and to believe that through this project we can develop basketball in Africa. The development of basketball in Africa, it's a reality. Our media people, thank you also to help us to promote the basketball and to put our players, our game in the spotlight, not only in Africa but beyond Africa. Thank you for this. For us, FIBA, one of the strategic pillars for 23-27 is to reshape our competition, is to bring more people in the competition. And basketball Africa League is a key competition for this reshaping. As Amadou said, this season we reshape our competition. We bring more games, more competitiveness, and we cover more African countries. This is what we as FIBA want, that this game to be played everywhere. As I said, our game is growing, and one of the responsibility for this is the Basketball Africa League. Local competition are more regular. The organization of our national federation are better, and this is why some players from diaspora now are committed to play, not only for BAL, but also for the national team. That's the consequences of all of this. We, in Africa, we have better results. Just to give you 2 or 3 examples, on 2023, last year, the World Cup, for the first time, all 5 teams in Africa teams won at least a game. We have already 1 team qualified for Olympic, another 3 with the chance to qualify next July. We have another qualification. Let's see if more teams can qualify. In the Intercontinental Cup was Al Ali, if I'm not wrong. For the first time, we were not the last one. We were 4, we are competitive, and it means that we can be in better position in all of this. Our Elevate players are now playing for the national team. So this is the result of Basketball Africa League, and I would like to thank BAL for this partnership, and to tell everybody that this is a project that we have results. If you want to see results, or if you want to measure, if you want to have a KPI, this Basketball Africa League can show everybody what are these KPIs. We, in FIBA, we still committed. We are going to, the next 4 years, put more money in development, mini basketball, youth camp, and other activities, because it's the only way for us to have better players in the future. And I was discussing with Amadou unfortunately, for the first time, Rwanda, the Zaire team is not in the final. Is not in the final, but this is a process that we need to continue with development and to invest more. Okay, so you have all the support of FIBA to invest here in this league. Of course, we still have some challenges. The challenges we still have in terms of infrastructure. This is why we are not playing in more places. This is something that we have to look about all of this. Finally, to say that I wish you all a very exciting week, competition, good luck for the teams, and we hope that the best team can win. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Manav. With that, the floor is now open for questions. Please, when called upon, before asking your question, please state your name and the media organization you're representing and to whom your question is directed. We'll start the third row to the left, Adama Kande from Dozes TV, Senegal.
Voilà. Merci Edwin, bonjour à tous. J'ai deux questions. La première au président Amadou Galofal en français. Il l'a évoqué tout à l'heure dans son introduction en anglais. Alors s'il peut revenir en français, c'est on a eu la chance de voir pour la conférence du Sahara à Dakar, deux chefs d'État assister à la finale entre guillemets entre le Sénégal, la douane et APR. Si on prend par exemple l'exemple du président rwandais, on sait que c'est le premier à comprendre un peu la dimension d'une telle compétition. Est-ce que le voir suivre cette finale, entre guillemets, en compagnie de son homologue du Sénégal nouvellement élu, est-ce que ça vous rassure un peu quant à ce que ça peut voir, en tout cas montrer au sommet, plutôt aux yeux du monde entier, que l'Afrique peut ou doit s'approprier une telle compétition parce que tout le monde sait que ce que cette compétition peut rapporter pour l'Afrique est énorme. Donc est-ce que ça vous rassure un peu de voir ces deux personnalités, ces deux hommes d'État assister à une telle finale? La deuxième, c'est à Madame Clerc. Alors, des gens, en tout cas beaucoup d'observateurs ont quelques appréhensions parce que APR, qui accueille les autres équipes, ne va pas jouer ces finales. Certains peut-être ont des appréhensions. Est-ce que le public va venir ou pas? Est-ce qu'on va vivre le même engouement que les années précédentes? Est-ce que vous pouvez rassurer ceux qui vous regardent, ceux qui vous écoutent, que le Rwanda est prêt à relever le défi de l'organisation? Merci.
Thank you. I think we would start with the first question for Claire. The question was about the non-qualification of the Rwandan team, Armée Patriotique Rwandaise. And to you, Claire, Adama is asking if there's going to be the Union Sacrée, the support of the public here in Rwanda in terms of, coming to support the BL, the games and the events in the week ahead. That was the question.
Thank you. Maybe that question is for Desiree from Ferraba, more than it is for me. But we have received tremendous support from Rwandans. Rwandans are looking forward to the games, even though APR is not playing. We've seen good turnout in terms of ticket purchases. We've seen communities also being supported to come to the games. So we know that even though APR is not playing, Rwandans are going to watch good games, and they're looking forward to that. And I'm sure they all have the teams that they've picked for this week, even if APR is not on the list. So we're not worried about attendance. We know it's going to be great. But maybe, Amadou, you want to add something? And
Is it working? Yeah, so look, and I said this, I think I got the question in Dakar immediately after the... ah oui, vous voulez que je parle en français? Oui, alors, oui, je pense que la question a été posée à Dakar immédiatement après la fin de la conférence Sahara, mais je suis confiant que ici au Rwanda, le public va venir parce que je pense que le travail qui a été fait ici, il y a un amour vraiment authentique pour ce jeu Les jeunes commencent à s'y mettre. J'ai assisté à des matchs du championnat local et où c'est vraiment, bon, c'est vrai que c'est un petit stade au lycée de Kigali, mais c'est toujours plein et il y a de l'ambiance. Je vois beaucoup de l'empreinte, de la BAL, comment on organise, comment on allie l'entertainment, le divertissement, la culture et tout ça dans l'arène. J'ai confiance et puis même les échos qu'on a et puis là où on est par exemple par rapport à la vente de nos billets, il y aura un public et c'est toutes ces années, en tout cas à part l'année de 2021 où on jouait sous une bulle, le public est toujours venu, malgré que l'équipe, que ce soit les Patriots, c'était l'année de la bulle ou bien règle les 2 dernières années, même après l'élimination de ces équipes, le public est venu. Nous avons confiance par rapport à ça.
There was another question. The prospects of basketball in the eyes of the continent of the world. Does it provide any reassurance, the presence of the United States during the last game?
Yes, je pense que Adama, je l'ai dit à Dakar, c'était un immense honneur d'avoir ces 2 chefs d'État venir assister aux compétitions à Dakar Arena et puis de voir ce public très enthousiaste, beaucoup de jeunes, cette énergie, la compétition sur le terrain, mais c'est l'opportunité aussi de renouveler tous nos remerciements au président Paul Kagame qui, comme je l'ai dit, a cru au projet depuis le départ, a adhéré même avant qu'un ballon ait rebondi. Je pense qu'il est constant dans son soutien. Il a tenu à venir à Dakar pour assister à ces compétitions et aussi pour le chef de l'État sénégalais, c'était sa première sortie, je crois, dans un événement sportif et je pense que c'est aussi l'occasion de le remercier et de ce jeune leadership qui comprend d'entrée de jeu que le sport peut être un instrument extraordinaire pour non seulement continuer à mouler nos jeunes, en faire de meilleurs citoyens exemplaires, mais aussi il y a une opportunité de dériver de la valeur économique à travers ces infrastructures qui ont été construites et maintenant amener du contenu dans ces infrastructures, gérer ces infrastructures de manière à ce qu'elles ramène de la plus-value à l'État qui a consenti de lourds investissements pour construire ces infrastructures. Oui, avoir le président Kagame à Dakar avec son homologue sénégalais était vraiment un très grand honneur et je crois que le président s'est toujours engagé à essayer de partager en tout cas l'expérience qu'ils ont ici au Rwanda. Je suis heureux d'entendre tout à l'heure le permanent secretary Zafani qui était au Rwanda Development Board à l'époque où nous avons noué le partenariat. Il a tout à l'heure décliné les retombées, les retours sur investissement qu'ils sont en train de voir avec une croissance du nombre de visiteurs au Rwanda. Et je pense que 15% des valeurs retirées de tout ce qui est convention et meeting attribuées au sport spécifiquement, c'est important. Je pense que c'est des informations à partager avec d'autres pays. Et c'est pourquoi nous saluons encore la venue du président Kagame au Sénégal.
Bonjour à tous. Moi, j'ai 2 questions. La première question, c'est pour vous, Monsieur Amadou Galofal. Le bon partenariat entre la BAL et le Rwanda a fait aujourd'hui que la Ligue est devenue une attraction partout à travers l'Afrique. Beaucoup de pays veulent accueillir aujourd'hui cette compétition. On sait déjà que pour la prochaine édition, il n'y aura pas une autre conférence qui sera organisée. On restera sur les 3. Maintenant, qu'est-ce qu'il en est de l'organisation des playoffs? Est-ce que vous avez eu des retours ou bien d'autres pays qui vous ont approché par rapport à l'organisation des playoffs depuis l'annonce du Rwanda? Quel était un autre pays africain d'organiser? Et l'autre question, c'est à vous, Monsieur Hannibal. Alors, la question c'est, il y a un programme dans la BAL qui est dédié aux jeunes. C'est la BAL Elevate qui permet donc aux jeunes de pouvoir participer dans la compétition. Comment vous avez trouvé les performances de ces jeunes ou bien le programme, surtout par rapport à tous ces programmes que vous avez pour les jeunes afin de rehausser le niveau du basketball africain? Merci.
Yes, I want to translate. The first question was for you, Amadou, on the organization of next year's playoffs and finals, because the partnership with the Rwanda Development Board has the playoffs and finals this year in 2026 and in 2028. So do we have other host cities that are planning to host the playoffs for next year? And the other question for President Manaf was on the BAL Elevate program, which is a program that prepares young people to play in the highest professional level. So does FIBA has other youth programs to develop the game of basketball?
Merci pour la question. Alors, effectivement, je pense que nous avons, avec le nouveau partenariat avec le Rwanda Development Board, pour rappel, nous avions un partenariat sur 3 ans, de 2021, qui a expiré à la fin de la saison 3. On a renouvelé sur 5 ans. Et sur ces 5 ans, il est prévu de jouer les finales. De toute façon, nous allons amener des compétitions de la BAL au Rwanda sur ces 5 ans. Mais nous jouerons sur ces 5 ans les finales cette année en 2024 et puis après en 2026 et 2028. En 2025 et en 2027, nous amènerons les finales dans d'autres sites. Il y a effectivement beaucoup d'intérêt par rapport à d'autres pays qui sont candidats pour organiser ces finales. Nous sommes en train d'évaluer et nous allons décider rapidement quel sera le meilleur endroit qui nous permettra d'avoir le succès que nous avons toujours eu ici au Rwanda avec ces finales et ces playoffs. Et l'objectif, c'est aussi d'essayer d'étendre le maillon, d'essayer d'amener cette expérience pour le plus grand nombre de pays africains possible. Et le Rwanda Development Board l'a compris et est complètement en phase avec nous. Je pense qu'on l'a abordé à Dakar lors il y avait un point de presse qu'on avait fait avec Visit Rwanda et le député CEO. Et c'est une opportunité pour le Rwanda de partager. Il y a un leadership en termes d'avoir établi ce partenariat, mais nous ne sommes pas fermés par rapport à comment on peut faire pour que le plus grand nombre de pays africains puissent bénéficier de l'organisation ou bien de tout ce qui vient avec l'organisation de cet événement.
Thank you, Amadou. So I was just translating Amadou's response to the question regarding the playoffs and finals. So he mentioned the fact that the playoffs and finals will be happening here this year in 2026 and 2028. And for 2025 and 2027, there's a lot of interest from other host countries, potential host countries. So at the end of the BL season, there will be an evaluation that is going to be made, and a decision is going to be made to announce where the playoffs for 2025 and of course 2027 is going to take place. But also the objective is to continue to expand the league to other countries, to embrace all 54 African countries, so that young people, fans of basketball, can be able to benefit from the exciting competition at the Basketball Africa League. President Manaf, I'll turn it over to you now for the question on youth development, the development of youth basketball programs on the continent.
Okay, thank you. No, it's just to inform that 30%, 30% of our total budget is for development programs. What does it mean? It means that we are investing in youth camps, as I mentioned before, also mini basket, but also in coach. You know that one of our weakness in Africa are the level of our coach. So we're investing also in coach, materials, balls, and all these items we put in a package, and we call this as a development program. Also, when we are promoting also youth competition every year. We have our zones playing youth competition, and FIBA, we support these competitions in the level, in all these levels, okay, specifically for girls, but also for boys. So 30% of our money is for development, because without players with quality, well prepared, we will not have good quality, and not having good quality, we are not having a good product to sell and to have money. It means that today we need, for example, BAL to be a top product, to sell this product. The money from BAL is again to reinvest it in youth competition. This is the cycle that we use, and this is the only way to still competing in the high level. Okay. In the past, just to let you know, in the past, women team from Mali in youth competition stay in which position 4, if I'm not wrong, in the World Cup competition, because they have a very, very good youth program and development program.
Thank you. Yes, I have a question from Queen.
Hi, Queen from Nigeria. I have a question for Amadou and Claire. I'll start with Amadou. In 2020, before the COVID-19, initially the plan for the BAL was to have like 6 host cities: Luanda, Dakar, Senegal, was it Tunisia, as well as Morocco, Rabat, and also finals in Kigali. But this season we had four conferences. That's 3 cities plus the finals. So are there plans from the BAL to gradually go back to the initial plan subsequently, subsequent editions? Then for Claire, almost 6 months into your new role, I'll say congratulations once again. Take us through your journey as NBA Africa CEO. How unique is this particular role different from your previous role? And talk us through your long-term goals as NBA Africa CEO.
I think we'll start with Amadou.
Thank you, Quinn, for the question. The goal of the Basketball Africa League remained to really show growth and improvement and innovation after every season. Yes, that was the plan before the pandemics, forced us to adjust. It was about using this caravan format to be in as many, iconic African cities as possible. Because of this economic growth engine, we wanted to make sure that it was spread and get to as many fans as possible. It's about growing our fan base and in the process, continuing to grow and improve the product. Yes, there are plans to expand. The expansion doesn't necessarily have to now mean, geography. I think that long term, there's also conversations around whether having a home and away format could be a better guarantor of ensuring that fan, engagement is there at all games, because we've noticed that one of the reasons why this year the innovation was to make sure that the home team plays on every game day to ensure that the fans are there. But we still see that, maybe fans come late if the home team is playing in the second game. The arena is full by the time we tip off the second game, but there's still, work to be done to make sure that, fans come also to watch, the first game. But I think that's going to come as the product continue to grow, as the quality of basketball continue to grow, which is what we are seeing today. More fans will come to watch basketball, even if they don't have a direct rooting interest in terms of the country from their teams. playing or not. So those plans are in the works. The timing of it is going to, really depend on when we feel, the timing is right. There is both an expansion from looking at increasing the number of teams from 12 to a bigger number. There's a lot of interest, and we're going to continue to work with FIBA to see, for example, how do we tweak some of our qualifying, phase, and how do we make sure that, top countries and top teams are present in the league. Because at the end of the day, it's that product that fans want to see, the quality of the basketball, and countries where we know that there is tremendous interest in basketball, we want to make sure that, we see them more often in the league.
Thank you, Amadou. Now turn it over to Claire.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And yes, exactly today I make 4 months since I joined the NBA. And it's been a journey of understanding how the business is situated on the continent. It's been talking and understanding what the partners that we have are currently focused on, and really seeing how NBA fits within those plans. But I must reflect and say that what I find really exciting about being in this role and being part of the NBA family is to see how a very successful brand such as the NBA can really use all its assets to be able to contribute to the economic development of the continent. When we see the work that we're doing, whether it's through BAL or through other NBA work on the continent, this is directly contributing to job creation, directly contributing to tourism, as we've heard from Rwanda, directly contributing to talent growth on the continent, and all of these elements that are very, very much needed in growing the economy and transforming the continent. And so for me, being able to see firsthand how that can happen has been extremely encouraging, and I very much think that NBA and BAL and all the partners that we have like FIBA are going to be part of the story of the continent's transformation. I see that every day. I see that growth happening, and it's only going to get better because I feel that we've only done a little bit of what the potential is, and that potential is only going to unlock over the years. So that has been extremely exciting for me. And so going forward, what I see as the opportunities to bring more and more stakeholders into the basketball ecosystem, whether it's a private sector, the corporate world that is interested in the continent, whether it's a development financial institutions that are looking at promoting income growth on the continent or job creation, bringing them to see sports as one of the pillars that should be a priority to get to what goals they have for economic transformation. It's also bringing governments on board, because to be able to do more and more growth of this on the continent, we need to see facilities like Beka Arena. This has been a home for BAL from the beginning, just like many other countries that we've seen, like Senegal. We want to see more countries building facilities like this. The good news is that we're seeing that momentum growing. We've seen recently Nigeria, they broke ground for an arena there. We know Benin is looking at one as well. We know that countries in the region, East African region like Kenya, Uganda, are also seriously looking at building arenas. And so bringing governments on board, whether it's as governments or even private sector or PPP, public-private partnerships, we see all of this contributing to the basketball ecosystem that is going to really deliver on the growth that we see in the future. Now, to build on that, one of the elements that we didn't talk about, but which is very important, is that on the 30th of May, as part of the BAL week, we have the Innovation Summit. In that Innovation Summit, you will see an example of all the stakeholders that are going to deliver this ecosystem on the continent. So we have panels that are going to talk about development financial institutions and how they can contribute to sports ecosystem. We're going to have corporate companies, some of the big companies on the continent, on panels to talk about how they can contribute to that. We have people that are in the creative sector, celebrities that are going to share their own legacy stories. And all of these are really going to be showing that if all these different parts come together to support the growth of sports ecosystem, we're going to see sports being a very important sector that is transforming the continent. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Thank you.
Thanks, Ronnie. Hi, everybody. Good evening. I'm Amin Lamri from Groupe Le Matin in Morocco. I've been fortunate enough to attend the inaugural act for both the BAL and NBA Africa The BAL has come to thrive through major difficulties and sometimes some existential obstacle like COVID. But I would like to ask Amadou, what's the biggest challenge the BAL is facing now? And to Claire, I would like to ask you if you'd be kind enough and repeat the message that I heard you telling everybody yesterday in the BAL Advanced program, that Africa has to pursue excellency and not settle for good enough or mediocre. I think it's a powerful message, and all of the continent should hear it from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Amin. Good to see you again. In terms of our biggest challenges, I mean, I would say challenges. There's always challenge, but really exciting opportunity to grow. You know, we're doing something that's never been done before. So 4 years in, we're incredibly encouraged and even more motivated to continue to push forward, because we see the impact, we see the growth, and we see the need, you know, in the ecosystem. Our goal is once again to see a very robust sports business industry across all sports in Africa. We would partner with, you know, other sports. We meet, we talk to try to share best practices to continue to create an enabling environment for the vast amount of talent that we have in the continent to be able to be developed here in the continent, and not just only be a supplier of raw talent to other parts of the world. Talent is going to go where the best opportunity is. So we're not saying that every basketball player needs to stay and play in the Basketball Africa League, but we want to make sure that we start to recognize that there is something incredibly valuable that we can build here on the continent, create our own markets, create our own aspirations to make sure that a young boy dreaming about playing and a young girl dreaming about playing professionally on the continent knows that there's a pathway to get them there. So one of the challenges that we face today, and I think we are really actively looking to work with FIBA to find a solution. It's about professionalizing the whole environment. Not just to have this, what you see, how this arena is presented, you know, how the teams are, how they look when they are here during the BAL time. We want that to be the same when they go back, starting in their leagues in Morocco, in Tunisia, in Senegal, Nigeria, South Africa. You know, we want club basketball to be very robust. But for that, you have to have a mechanism and ways to administer and run these, you know, leagues that we are here as the BAL to take the leadership in trying to help in capacity building. You hear a lot of stories sometime about some players not getting paid, you know, and you know, we can sit here and you know, say that it's not the BAL, because during the BAL season, every single player is going to the contract that they sign. We make sure that, you know, the teams are held to, you know, make sure they honor that. But, you know, right now we don't have control over these teams outside of the BAL season. When teams call us, you know, for something that happened in the road to the BAL, we don't want to be saying that's not us, that's FIBA, because we are in this together. So we got to get to a point where now, you know, really, and this happened in global basketball, in global around the world, where contracts, you know, there are issues with players' non-payment, and I think it just has to do also with what stage the growth of the game of basketball is in Africa. So it's super excited to be doing what we're doing with the BAL, but ultimately we want to make sure that what we're doing at this level, at the Pan-African level, is also what's happening in every single league across the continent. But it will take time, but the day will come.
I think there's a question for Claire. Just have to reiterate on African excellence and not.
Yeah, and I think Amadou has actually captured a lot of those elements. But I think what we were saying yesterday is sports teaches us something that I think is important for the continent, and that's the pursuit of excellence. Sports is one industry that we've seen Africa's excellence showcased on the global stage. If you look at the players that leave the continent and go and compete, if you have an example of somebody like Joel Embiid, who was recruited through Basketball Without Borders, goes to the NBA and is an MVP, that is an example of how Africa's excellence can be showcased on the global stage. And I think sports teaches us a lot of those lessons. One of them is just to have the mindset of thinking big and really pursuing excellence and knowing that it doesn't matter what our countries or continent has today, but we have the capability to actually pursue excellence and actually achieve it. And I think sports teaches us, and we can use that in other aspects of our lives. The second one, I think, is also just knowing that we have the self-worth that is required for us to be able to compete and to pursue the excellence that we want to. I think when sportsmen and women are on the court, they believe that they can win, and they go on the court with that self-confidence and self-worth that they can win. And it's a lesson that we can take to the rest of our lives. And I think when you look at our host, like Rwanda, that's something that they'll go for Visit Rwanda, they'll partner with BAL, they'll partner with big organizations and brands because they are pursuing excellence. And I think when you move around the city, you see that mindset. So I think that's something that we can apply to the rest of our lives on the continent. And I think it's just a mindset of winning, of pursuing excellence, and really believing that we have all that it takes to get there. And I think once we do that, it's good for the continent. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Claire. We'll take two last questions.
Bonjour, Morba Signan du Journal Record. J'ai deux questions pour Amadou et une pour le président Manav. Je commence par le président Manav. Président, c'est la 4e saison de la BAL. Aujourd'hui, si vous faites un bilan, qu'est-ce qu'on peut retenir de ces 4 ans de collaboration avec la NBA? Pour le président Amadou, vous avez passé le week-end dernier, le week-end du 12 avec les présidents Kagame et Diomaye Faye du Sénégal. Est-ce que vous avez échangé avec le président du Sénégal sur la faisabilité d'organiser les Final 8 à Dakar, vu que Kigali ne va pas recevoir ses playoffs en 2025? Est-ce qu'aujourd'hui, la deuxième question, est-ce que vous avez senti la même envie chez le président Diomaye de soutenir le développement de la Ligue et le développement du basket africain, comme on le voit avec le président Kagame aujourd'hui? Merci.
Merci pour la question. Ce que je peux dire, c'est qu'effectivement, on sent un désir et aussi une reconnaissance du fait qu'il y a une opportunité avec le sport. Il y a une opportunité vraiment d'utiliser le sport comme un levier. Le Sénégal est un pays qui a cette âme, le sport dans l'âme pour la plupart. On le voit à travers les rues de Dakar. Tous qui viennent en visite sont émerveillés par tout ce monde qu'on voit en footing à la plage à 18h. Les gens aiment le sport. Maintenant, au-delà du talent qui existe là-bas, il y a une opportunité vraiment de faire quelque chose de spécial pour booster l'économie, comme ça se fait ici au Rwanda. Je rappelle que nous avions eu un partenariat, je pense qu'à la saison 2, avec la SPT pour promouvoir la destination Sénégal. Et c'est une conversation que nous sommes en train de revisiter avec le nouveau ministre du Tourisme qui est venu au match à Dakar Arena. Le ministre des Sports aussi était venu nous rendre visite au niveau de la NBA Academy. Ils sont venus rendre visite à l'AS Douanes et on a eu à échanger. Elle est venue aussi lors de la première journée à Dakar Arena. On a eu des échanges et je sais qu'elle parlait au nom du gouvernement et des plus hautes autorités qui sont très enthousiastes par rapport à l'opportunité de travailler avec la Basketball Africa League sur des éditions à venir. Par rapport au président Bassirou Diomaye Faye directement, je ne dirais pas qu'on a eu l'occasion d'échanger spécifiquement sur ce sujet, mais en tout cas, il a réitéré tout le soutien et la fierté qu'il a par rapport à le travail qui se fait et surtout cet événement qu'il a vécu aux côtés de son homologue du Rwanda, qui a sans doute partagé son expérience par rapport aux retombées que l'organisation des finales de la Basketball Africa League ici au Rwanda, comment cela bénéficie le pays. Je pense que pour retourner sur les propos du secrétaire général du ministère des Sports, il a chiffre en main en parler de ce que le pays gagne en retour pour leur investissement. Pour avoir parlé à différentes personnes qui sont dans ce nouveau leadership au Sénégal, je suis confiant qu'il y a de l'intérêt, pour travailler plus étroitement, avec la Basketball Africa League, et puis je pense les instances sportives pour utiliser le sport à juste titre, comme ce levier qu'il est, comme ce catalyseur qu'il est, non seulement pour développer notre jeunesse, mais aussi avec les infrastructures qui sont construites au Sénégal, comment faire pour maintenant faire vivre ces infrastructures. Je pense que l'une des conversations, c'est de comment, à l'instar de ce qui se fait ici avec Kigali Arena, confier, par exemple, la gérance de ces infrastructures à des structures professionnelles qui vont savoir amener le contenu qu'il faut mettre dans ces arénas pour que l'État ne continue pas à être responsable de payer les lourdes charges, je n'ai aucun doute, qui vont avec des factures d'électricité, d'eau, etc. Ici à Dakar, BK Arena, ils ont ce naming right, la banque de Kigali, et l'arena porte le nom de banque de Kigali. Et aussi, en parlant avec les gérants, je pense qu'il y a quelque chose comme près de 200 événements qu'ils ont amenés ici. Et tout ça, ça amène de la valeur qui peut retourner aussi à l'État. Voilà, je suis confiant que nous allons pouvoir continuer de faire de bonnes choses. Je ne suis pas sûr si c'est les finales ou c'est la Sahara Conference qui va continuer, mais en tout cas, si le Sénégal postule, c'est un dossier qui va être étudié très étroitement, mais je tiens à dire qu'il y a aussi d'autres pays qui veulent organiser les finales.
Thank you, Amadou. Maybe we'll turn it over to President Manaf to speak to the evaluation or the assessment of the collaboration with the BAL over the last 4 years. That was Mo's first question to you.
Yeah, I can stay here a long day.
Yeah, we'll just keep it short. Yeah.
But what is most important to understand is with this partnership, we change a lot, especially self-esteem. Today, when you speak with the different stakeholders, not just African, we are a little bit proud that we have competition that it's comparable with any European or American competition. This is very important. Also, I can say that it's awakened minds. Okay, so today we have to understand that the NBA brand is very strong. So all of this, sometimes we were in the past a little bit with lack of confidence, but today we believe in our potential. This is, for me, what is more important. Of course, when you change minds, when you have self-esteem, everything change in the system. Today, any competition we want to organize, just to give you an example, in Angola, we are going to have next year Afro-Basket Men in Angola, just to give an example. The idea is to make better organization than BAL. This is the main idea. And we have capacity to do this. This is very, very important. And at the end of the day, all the basketball ecosystem change. This is what is much, I can go in details, better referees, better coach. And we had the lack of all of this. Now we believe much more on us than in the past. We have reference. I can give you another example. For example, the president of my country called me to ask me, you play BAL not in Mozambique. What kind of arena do you want to be played here in Mozambique? So this is what is important at the end of the day. And we need to take advantage on it. We need to take advantage to be in another level. After all of this, we cannot be in the same level. At all, we cannot be the same level. We are doing things in a different way to have better results, or at least different results that we had in the past. As I can give this general answer, and I think that after this answer you understand exactly the impact of this competition and the importance for our youth. Just to finalize about all of this, the women demand the same competition. They don't care if we don't have 30 teams in general, road to BAL. They don't care about this. They demand the same competition, and we are going to deliver the same competition. This is the changing of all of this. Thank you.
Thank you. President Manaf will take one last question.
Thank you. My name is Precious, and I write for the New Times. I actually have a couple of questions. One, BAL has been synonymous with convening some of the biggest names in the continent, which kind of attracts interest from fans, people who want to watch. So last year we had first Whitaker, among other people. So who are we to expect this year around? Second, what's the thinking behind the ticketing strategies? Because what's the thinking behind the new ticketing? Because it's a slightly different. And what are we to expect from the side events that everyone has been raving about? Are there going to be more networking? What's the experience going to be like? Thank you.
I will take a stab and start. I'm sure Claire would be also joining in, sharing in the excitement in terms of, the names. I'm not sure if we can name, but I can assure you that, but I can assure you that it's going to be a whole other level, in terms of, I'm setting you up. So yes, no, it's going to be really, really exciting. We're going to have, great people from around the world, but also from across Africa. Regarding the tickets, first of all, I know earlier on I was talking about, just the ticket sales and how encouraged we were with what we were seeing. Now I can tell you that we are completely sold out for the first game tomorrow. So I would encourage everybody to go and get tickets for Sunday, Monday, and the following. Remember we play on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then we are off on Tuesday. We play Wednesday. We're off on Thursday, and then we play Friday and Saturday for the final. So get your tickets for the rest of the game. And looking forward to seeing a full, sold-out BK Arena tomorrow for the first games of our season 2 playoffs and finals.
I'm going to do a surprise for us. So wait for the surprises.
Yeah, so we will announce this as we go, but I can just assure you that, it's going to be really fun. Obviously, all the entertainers we're going to have in the building, the music, the fan zone. So I encourage people to come early in the arena. It's going to be a big festival here, and really across Kigali. I can see the buzz, all the cool spots. I see a lot of new restaurants, and our visitors and guests are really excited to take on the experience. And that's what this league is really about, using the convening power of basketball to activate, all these other industries around basketball.
Not related to that, but just to say that for those that are watching and are not going to be in Kigali, we encourage you to download the NBA app and also BAL app. Through that app, you can follow games for BAL, but also NBA in general. So make sure that each of you has your NBA app on your phones. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Conference. We'll now invite our speakers for a